Hey, I'm Becca with the Happy Ever Crafter, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a monthly spread in your bullet journal. This is like part 2 in setting up your bullet journal. In part 1, and if you haven't seen that video yet, I made it for you. In part 1, you're making your yearly spread where you see your whole year at a glance. Then for part 2, you break it down into months and you make a monthly spread so you can see your month at a glance. Let's just get right into it. Okay, first things first, for tools, I have an Archer and Olive journal. This is a really nice high quality journal that a lot of people love for bullet journaling. It just has really nice thick paper that won't ghost, you won't be able to see through it. So it's really great for what we're doing here. Then I have a Micron pen size 0.5. This is what I'm gonna be using for all the divider lines. I want them to be nice and thick. Then I have a Uniball Sino DX pen. This is size 0.38. This is what I use for my actual writing in the bullet journal. I just love the ink flow and I love the way it works. Then I have a Zebra Mild Liner highlighter pen. These are just really nice colors that come out of the highlighter. They're not super intense or anything, and I really like the way they work. And then of course I have a ruler. So personally, I've experimented with lots of different ways to do a monthly log, but over the years, I've settled on one specific layout that I really like, and that's the one that I'm gonna show you, and I hope you like it too, and you can feel free to steal it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark off some room on this first page for my header. So I think I want my header to be about this big. So you can mark it as big as you want it to be, but I think within that space, I'll be able to write January. So I've marked off the room that I want for my header, and I actually forgot to tell you the one most exceptional pen that I'm using in this tutorial, which is the Tombow Fudenosuke. If you do brush lettering, you know exactly what pen this is. If you don't, it's linked down below. But this is a flexible pen, so I'm gonna be able to write in brush calligraphy, and I'm gonna write my header within that space that I've allocated here at the top. Now, if you're a beginner, definitely do this in pen first. I'm pretty comfortable with just jumping right in. Sometimes it doesn't turn out exactly how I want it to, but it's totally fine. So you can do this in any style you want. You could do this in block letters, you could do this with a stamp, you can do whatever you like the style of. For this page, just add in your header. Okay, next I'm gonna use my highlighter and I'm gonna start highlighting the days. Now, when I say that, I mean that for me, I like to put 2 lines for every day of the month. I like to have at least 2 lines to write the things that are gonna happen in that day. So I use the highlighter to separate the days. I do one day in the highlighter color and one day with no color. So I can easily see the differentiation between the days. And you'll see what I mean in a second. But I do this in highlighter first before I do anything in pen, because sometimes the highlighter will smudge the pen. So basically, I know there are 31 days in January. I'm just gonna start and I'm gonna fill in these lines, 2 per day, in alternating between yellow and no yellow throughout the whole page. So you'll see what I mean. So I'm gonna do 2 lines of yellow, and that's for January 1st. Then I'm gonna skip 2 lines, and that's for January 2nd. Then I'm gonna do 2 lines of yellow, and that'll be January 3rd, and so on, and so on. So you're gonna do this on both sides of the journal, and what I like to do is I'll line up these yellow lines here. I'll do this first on this side of the page, just so it looks nice and even, and then I'll go up and down from there so I know that they're gonna be lined up. Okay, so I've got this all broken up so that now I have enough lines for 31 days of January. Now I'm gonna take my Micron pen and my ruler, and I'm gonna draw a line on the left side of each of these pages at the second dot in to my highlighter lines. So all the way from the top to the bottom on both of these pages. Now the reason I'm doing this is to differentiate from the day of the week and the number of the day. So I'm gonna write the number of the day on the left-hand side and the day of the week on the right. So if I start up at the top here, January 1st is going to be a Friday. So I'm gonna write 1 on the left and F on the right. So it's really easy for me to see that the first is a Friday. Then here I'm gonna go 2 on the left and Saturday. I'm gonna do my whole left side of numbers first, and then I'll do the right side of letters. And then of course, once you've finished your actual layout here, you can go back to your yearly log and see the dates that you put in. So for example, I know I have something on the 7th, the 11th, and the 25th, and I'm gonna migrate those onto my monthly log so I can see my month at a glance. So I can take the 7th and the 11th and put these in here. And then as you go for the rest of the month, you just add in all the appointments you have on this page so you can see everything at a glance. And the reason I like to put 2 different lines for each day of the week is so that I can fit multiple appointments on one line. I don't only have room to write one thing per day. That's totally a personal preference. And of course, if you wanted to, you can start filling in some of these gaps with little doodles and things like that if you want. But for me, I'm actually really happy with the simplicity of this monthly log. And now that you have your yearly and your monthly log done from both of these videos, you have to create your weekly. So let's do that next.